Ciao, this is Davide Biocchi speaking, and here we are for my weekly intermarket analysis. Let's start immediately with the euro dollar that was in the last part of the previous year under this downtrend line, and recently even down this new downtrend line that was really touched recently when the price arrived around 1.0160, 1.017, and that still remain as a main resistance here. The main, let's say, the main resistance is the other one that is 1.037. So later we have this 1.017, and here we have 0.99. That is, in my opinion, the most relevant support that we can find on this part of the chart. So we are and still maintain the price around the parity, and I think that we will see some news, especially after the Fed press conference, where Mr. Powell will tell us something about the policies of the Fed for the autumn. So let's see what is going to happen very soon. Let's switch immediately after to currencies, where we have a crude oil, and the crude oil is still in that process that is trying to maintain its price below the level of 85. That means that it could be back in the area of the range 85 to 95. Despite this fact, if the price will go below this level, we will probably see again the price of 80. That is what we can see here as the previous minimum. So let's see what is going to happen. More and more interesting is the situation of the gold. The gold is also considered, let's say, an alternative for the investors in bonds. So when recently we have seen the yield of the bonds again up to 3.5%, very close to 3.5%, obviously the price of the gold went down, especially because the dollar is so strong in this period. So what we have seen is a price of a gold below the level of 1,680, that more or less is the strongest support that we have seen after the COVID. Never after the COVID we have seen a price below this level. So this, let's say, fall at 1,650 more or less, and then the rebound from there was very strange for the investors. So the week end finally at 1,683. So more or less at the support. But let's see what is going to happen in the next future, because I think that it will be very interesting for the gold. And for what concerning the stock indices, let's start before with the European one, where the stock 50 is already back to a price of 3,490. That means that we are not so far from the most relevant level that we have here, around 3,400, that we can for sure assume as a main, let's say, support that we have on this index. And not so far is the situation of the US indices, where we have seen the price of the S&P 500 really below, ending the week below the, let's say, X support, now resistance of 3,900. Yes, the price is only a few below that level, but this was really relevant because the week ended with the triple witches. That is something that is happened only four times a year, when we had the simultaneous expiry day for futures and options on indices and stocks. So a very relevant, very important day where the market went below this level and ended the week below it. So it's really important to see if the market will be able to move again up and above that level, or we will see it back to the previous support around 3,750 and maybe also 3,650. That is this minimum that we can clearly see here. Not so far is the situation of the NASDAQ. the NASDAQ was below the main support before the S&P 500 did, and this is because it was weaker during this week. This is the same support, and it seems to be, let's say, to be on the path towards the previous support. So let's see what is going to happen. In my opinion, the next week will be decisive because we have the Fed and Mr. Power words will impact the stock indices, let's say, in a really, really big manner. So let's see. And thank you, bye-bye, for being here with me. This is Davide from Italy. See you next week. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.